In this video, we're going to look at the ServiceNow SDK build function, and we're going to look at building an application with third-party libraries and some of the errors that you might see when you're doing the build. So I have three different third-party libraries: the uppercase module or library, the docx library, and the figlet library. And my application here has just one module in it, myfunction.js. And we're going to go through and use all three of these and try and build them. We're going to use them each one at a time, try and build them and see what happens. So the first one we'll build without a problem. The second one, docx, will throw an error and not build at all. And then the third one, figlet, will throw an error, or a warning, I should say, but it will build anyway. So let's look at the first one, which is uppercase. And so before I go, I should mention that I already installed all three of these libraries. So I already did an npm install uppercase, for example. I won't do it again because, well, first of all, I can't spell it, but I did that for all three of them. So if we go to my package.json, we see that all three libraries are dependencies. Now, the nice thing about the SDK build is that if you are not using those libraries, it will not include them as dependencies in your application. So, for example, right now, just save this. The only dependency I have is this ServiceNow glide, which I think just comes with it. It's not really even a dependency. So I'm not using uppercase or docx or figlet. So if I go down here and do now SDK build, it's going to build the application, and it will not include those three libraries, even though they are in the package JSON listed as dependencies. Since they're not being used, it's smart enough to know, well, we don't need them because they're not being used anywhere. Okay, I paused the video to spare you the dead air. So we see the build completed, and actually it took out, because before I had this figlet, I think, in there before, and some of figlet's dependencies. So figlet depends on fs. So because I had that in there before, and then I commented this line out, it actually deleted it from the, right? So this is writing delete for absent module. Because it's not being used, so it took it out of the application. Okay, so now let's go in here. Let's import uppercase into our module here, and we'll save it. So as if it were being used, right? Having the import statement is enough to trigger the import. So now let's build it. And right, gives us the usual warnings, and we should get a building uppercase message. Here we go. So now it's building uppercase, and this is a relatively simple library, so we don't get any errors. Okay, and it still looks like it's deleting my figlet out of there. Not sure what's going on with that, but moral of the story is, so the uppercase built without a problem. So now let's go look at it. If we go into the dist folder, dist app, and we go to the update, we can see right here, sysmodule _ dependency uppercase, right? So that is that third-party library packaged up into here, built into here. And I guess uppercase doesn't have any dependencies itself. Let's go look at that. So you can see the sort of source code for the library. We go to node modules, and we go to sorry, what am I doing here? I'm uppercase, right? Uppercase. Package. Right, I I don't see any dependencies. So uppercase is just a straight up library, no dependencies. So there's no further dependencies in there. So again, we'll just go back to our, let's get out of here. And we'll go back to our dist app, our update. So we can see the module underscore dependency uppercase. Perfect. You can see the module that we created. This is my function, right? That's in the source. So source my function. Perfect. So now let's do this second. You know what? Let's change the order up a little bit. Let's do Figlet next. So Figlet, we'll save that. So with Figlet, we're going to see errors, but it's going to build it anyway. So now SDK build. And next we should get our building Figlet message. Okay, and here we go. So here's some errors about using polyfills, right? And here, I like this. Using polyfills means that this package will likely not work. All caps, exclamation point. And then it tells us, hey, I successfully generated modules, blah, 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 the usual stuff. So now, yeah, this delete. Okay, so these were modules that I made myself. I think that's where this is coming from. And I deleted it. I should have probably started with a clean app so we don't get this, but anyway. All right, so now let's go over to our dist folder and to update, and we see, where are we here? Right, so sysmodule dependency Figlet, and Figlet has a dependency of fs, so it creates a dependency for that too. If we go to our node modules, we go Figlet, and we go to the package JSON here. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Okay, not sure. Oh, here's the dev dependencies. Okay, so I'm not sure where the dependencies are listed. Have to figure that out. Sorry about that. Okay, so now let's so Figlet, right? So let's make sure that we go back to our dist, and right. So now we have Figlet, and we have uppercase, and we have these are the must be dependencies of Figlet. So path, fs, and console, right? So we have these 5 dependencies in here. So and these files, by the way, this is what ends up when you go into your instance and you go sysmodules, sysmodule actually .list. This is what ends up in here, right? So these are all the modules. So this particular application is called word-gen. These are the modules. So when you deploy, they end up in here. And actually, I think this is just the root table. The actual table is sysmodule. Actually, I think it's just sysmodule. It ends up in there. Okay, but we didn't deploy, so we're not going to see it here now. Actually, and so I deployed previously. I should have, sorry, I should have started with a clean app, but I deployed previously. That's why we see some of these modules here. And maybe at the end we'll do a deploy. So, okay, now let's try the third case with this docx, and docx will throw a big fat error and won't create a module at all. So we'll save this and we'll run our build. And actually, let's run our build from let's run a build, oops, and let's output to a file. Okay. And I do that because I know the error is going to be big, and kind of goes off the screen. So in order to be able to capture everything, we'll just put it to a file. Okay, so I ran it, and you can't see the error in here because I outputted the file, and I should have just, here, let's do it another time where we just build so you can see what's going on, right? So this is all happening, and then we should get building docx. This, by the way, this library, I was really excited to use this because we can generate Word documents using JavaScript, but unfortunately we get this error, which I haven't figured out a solution for yet, right? Boom, there's our big error, etc. So if we go into the error, so this is the file that I created, and we can see it's initiating. See, building docx, artifacts bundled, blah, blah, blah. And then right here, we come up with a big error. Unable to generate dependency XML file for docx due to error, right? There's some invalid character in string. Not sure what that is. So I don't know if this is because, I think this is because it just doesn't work with ServiceNow SDK. I'm not sure. I have to dig into that a little bit more. But that's the error that we're getting. So now if we go over to our dist folder and we check out update, and we look for sys_sysmodule dependency docx, nowhere to be found. So it will let you deploy, and it will even let you use it. But when you run, if you try to call this function, it's going to give you an error, and it won't run basically, and it'll give you an error in your log in the instance that'll say, cannot find dependency docx. All right, let's do a deploy just to see this go into action. I thought I had this hanging around somewhere. Now, SDK deploy. And so we'll throw that up into the instance and get the latest in the sysmodule table. So basically, it's going to put in into that table the sysmodule dependency and this sysmodule source, along with the sysmodule package. All of those. So here it goes. It's going up. Okay. And so some of these were already there, so it wrote over them probably, but we won't really see a difference in the okay, script modules. Oops, and I really want to just for this application. Oops, it gave me everything. Okay, so we can see these are the same modules that are listed down there. So we have uppercase. Right, and uppercase gets its own package.json. Just looking for those dependencies again. Yeah, so here it is. Oh yeah, uppercase doesn't have any dependencies. Okay, so that's uppercase. What was the other one? Figlet was the one I was interested in. So here's the actual Figlet. And then where's the Figlet package? Right here, package.json. And did I just miss that before? Or? Yeah, here we go. Here, dependencies. I don't know. I didn't see that before. So dependencies, it's dependent on console, on FS, and on path, right? So those are the other dependencies that we saw and that we can see in here. So that's Figlet. And here's console. Here's FS. Here's path, where that's the package for path. But so each one of these has the actual library and then the library's package, package.json. And then finally the source, which is the my function, right? This is the one that we created and that has our different import scripts. So that's a little tour through the building of third-party libraries and some of the kind of problems or errors you might run into. Unfortunately, I don't have any solutions for the, especially for the docx one, but hopefully I can find something and report back in another video. Thanks a lot for watching.